Hello, everybody, and welcome to DraftKings. This is DraftKings FC. My name is Ty Atkins. Joining me as ever, to my left, we've got Jamie Hinks there, for staff writer for DraftKings itself. Over the way, we've got Edo Delamonte, a European football correspondent. And next to him, we've got a beardless Andy Davies. How you doing, Andy? Looking good. Right, so this is another big question for Week 9, and this isn't just the Premier League. We're actually going to rope in the Champions League as well, something that we at DraftKings have a huge interest in, and hopefully you guys do too. So there are 4 English teams. 4 teams from the Premier League that are still in the Champions League at this stage, at the group stage. We've got Man City, we've got Tottenham,
Yay.
we've got Arsenal, yay, we've got Arsenal, and we've got Leicester City, the champions. I'm curious about 2 of those teams. I'm curious about Leicester, who've made a blistering start, and Arsenal, who have also made a cracking start in the group stages, both undefeated. My question is this, though. Out of those 2 teams, bearing in mind that God knows if they're going to finish top of their groups, they probably will. Who could go the furthest with their style and expectation? I'm going to start with you, Edo. Who could go further in the Champions League this season, Leicester or Arsenal?
I think Leicester. Right, I don't particularly rate Leicester. I think this says a lot about what I think of Arsenal. In particular, there's a Groundhog Day factor, which is almost every year they'll seem to draw a side like Bayern, Barcelona, someone really difficult, and they'll get absolutely hammered. Or they'll claim that they're victims of circumstance against Barcelona, then lose anyway.
Yes.
I'm not sort of being critical here. I'm just saying is that, well, I am a little bit, but I don't think that Arsenal. I wonder whether Arsene Wenger can still hack it against top managers. I think there's an element of that. He will concede goals at the Emirates, no matter what, in the sort of, especially in a knockout situation. Leicester City, let's just say they get an easier draw. I mean, yeah, they haven't impressed particularly in this Champions League. Yeah, they destroyed Bruges, but against Copenhagen, you needed a last-minute save to stop Cornelius from equalising against FC Copenhagen. No disrespect. And I will say this as well. Leicester City do look much more up for it compared to the Premier League. I think that's another thing that you've got to sort of account for. They do have this sort of almost an 80s, 90s feel of we did really well last season. You know, sort of let's let the league go for a second here. Let's just do really well in the cup, almost at the cost of possibly getting relegated. I would add something else, which is they do play that kind of defensive, tough football with really talented players up front, kind of a little bit like a cheap man's Atletico Madrid. There's an element of Cholismo to that, and obviously Simeone is a far better manager than Ranieri is, and he's got better players at his disposal. But Leicester City, I think, could frustrate a better side, possibly even beat them, make it to the quarterfinals. I see Arsenal getting knocked out even earlier than that.
So you see passion being a big factor in this, because you think of the romantic possibilities of Leicester doing it.
And few teams have found an answer to that kind of like gritty defensive football
indeed.
Recently anyway.
And also, there is a very good chance that Paris Saint-Germain could win their group, and that could put Arsenal in the beleaguered second place spot where they usually get bashed up by Barcelona in the next round. So, Jamie, you next, my friend. How do you see it going? Arsenal, Leicester, who comes out on top in Europe?
There's a thing with Leicester that it's still that they're an unknown quantity on the European stage. I know in this day and age there's plenty of opportunity to watch teams play, but I think like first-hand experience of teams like Leicester doesn't come around that often for a lot of these European big guns. I know it's kind of taking that whole like, I couldn't do it at Stoke on a Tuesday night kind of thing, but I think with Leicester they are a unique kind of thing, and plus they just can't be bothered in the league, and they just go in the champion. I know they've got an easy group, but there are no easy games at that level. Whoever you saw, like PSG went to Ludogorets and almost lost the other week.
Yeah.
And this is a team that Arsenal beat 6-0. Leicester went to Club Brugge and just played so well. And I just think they care way more about the Champions League. So I think Leicester will go further than Arsenal, because I just see it like, I know realistically I should be saying Arsenal, but I just, as Edo said, I just see them drawing Bayern, Atletico, Real Madrid or Dortmund in the next round, and they'll go out. They always do. Plus, with Arsenal, they haven't had any injuries yet this season.
No.
Historically, they pick up the injuries. Like Theo Walcott's playing so well because Theo Walcott's fit. Like it's not like with all their players, their best players in the team, they are good. With a load of them out injured, as has been shown by Spurs, without Kane, they struggle to score as many goals. Take Walcott or Sanchez out of Arsenal's team, they're not going to be as good. It's simple, and I can't see them keeping those guys fit for the whole season. So I think, Leicester. We'll see Leicester quarterfinals.
Okay.
And then bowing out gracefully 7-1 on aggregate to Barcelona.
On their sword. Interesting. So,
Big fan of this question. When I saw it, I was on wavelength. I was like, yes.
2 guys have gone for Leicester. Then, Andy, you going to bring some sanity to this?
Yeah. Whichever team is playing on the Wednesday in the first knockout stage, they're the team that's going to last longest.
Because that means they've won the group.
No, it means they're both going out that week.
Very good. So basically,
They're both going out.
both going to go out in the next round.
Yeah,
Either of them.
both.
Both of them.
Both.
Both of them. Are.
Both.
Brilliant.
See, but there's a thing about the Champions League is that sometimes you can be, say, Shakhtar, Porto, Atletico early on, Sevilla when they made it through, Fenerbahce, these teams that would just somehow get this ridiculous second round draw. You were going, why are Porto playing Shakhtar? What on earth?
Also-
I think Leicester could get that. You know what I mean?
Also, if it
I think-
rains rains and it gets called off.
I think less. I think, to be honest, if Arsenal can avoid, if Arsenal can top their group, Arsenal will go further.
I think
So
so.
the one thing with Arsenal, they've addressed problems in their squad, which was a centre half and a defensive midfielder. Okay, they might lose one or two or both of Sanchez, but they do have Ozil, Giroud coming back. They have got goals in him, and they are capable, if they win the group, of getting further than Leicester. And I think they will. I think Leicester will be. Immediately Leicester play someone, one of the big guns, they're gone.
I'm inclined to agree. If Arsenal win their group, I think they'll progress further. I think they've got the better of a lot of teams that could.
Just the luck of the draw, isn't it? Mainly.
It's the luck of the draw.
It is whoever. Yeah, it's because I quite like they have done, in the South American in the Copa Libertadores. They have done it before, where they'll actually seed them 1 to 16,
Yeah,
depending on how many points you get. And
Yeah.
at least there's a incentive there. But yeah, it's the luck of the draw.
It's the luck of
tough.
the
I think there's no country, you can draw teams from your own country.
No, not in the round of 16.
Not in the
That's what I mean. So if City and Spurs come second, it's even more of a chance that Arsenal will get one of
the
No, I mean in the Libertadores.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not in the Champions
Yeah,
League.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they have that. So you could be.
No, they don't. So that's what I mean. So it's a bit of a pick 'em. But that's what we think. Interesting question, because we have no idea how it's going to pan out. It's only 3 games in of the group stages. But Leicester are still in it. They're doing very, very well. Even though they've got kind of a weak group, I think they're overachieving. And what they really need to do, of course, is bring that form into the Premier League. And perhaps that will start this weekend against Crystal Palace. We shall see. So, guys, this is DraftKings. If you're already watching this show, hopefully you've already got the app. If you haven't already, get it down on your phone, get it down on your tablet, get it down on your home computer. Get your budget, pick your teams every week. You can win prizes daily. Welcome to the big time.